Today we'll be talking about some group behavior concepts. So the learning outcomes for us for today are: what is a group? We'll be talking about what is the meaning of group, then types of group, the kinds of group communications, the different kinds of communications within a group, then about the group dynamics, what is group dynamics, and the stages of group development. So now the question comes like, what is a group? So when we talk about a group, we just it comes into our mind that two or more people sitting together. Okay, so now what all things happens between them? Basically two or more people who interact with one another and are aware of one another and think of themselves as being a group. Means the people who two or more people who think, interact with each other and share their thoughts, okay, and who are aware about each other can be called a group. Then it can be defined as a collection of individuals who have regular and frequent interactions. They have mutual influence, means they are influenced by each other. Then they have a common feeling of camaraderie and who work together for a common goal, for achieving a common goal. So this is what is a group. Now we come to what are the types of group. There are two different types of groups, formal and informal. Okay, so formal groups are, as the word says, formal. Formal is related to official. The official groups, okay, which are made because you are a member of an organization or you are a student of a school. So these kind of formal groups you make, okay, they are made through official things. Then informal groups. So when we talk of informal groups, it is all about unofficial things. Means it can be a group of friends and it can be a group of relatives sitting together, okay, and interacting with each other. That is it. Now let us talk about the formal and informal group in a bigger way. Now what is the objective of the formal group? The formal, or what you say, the official group has the objective of accomplishing a task. Means they need to they are working to complete a task. So because of that thing, they are a group, they have formed a group, and it can be a department in any organization. Now when we talk of informal group, the objective of an informal group is member satisfaction. Basically friends. How do we make friends? When we make friends, we just find out some qualities through which we are influenced, and like this the people who agree and who conform to a group, they make friends with each other, right? So there the objective of an informal group is the satisfaction of each and every member. Means every member should agree to each other and they should have the same similarities in their opinions, similarity in their thinking. That's it. Now the origin of formal, origin is from where does it comes? So origin of the formal groups comes from the management. As I said earlier, that when we join an organization or join a school, join an institute, so by virtue of that we become a part of a formal group. Then individual members. In the case of informal group, the origin of an informal group is the people, the individual members. When we meet, we go in the society and we meet some people through which we are influenced by some of their quality, anything, okay, the quality of their behavior, or if they have some quality that we like in them, or if their personality is the same like others, so we make friends with them. So that is the origin. Now structure. A formal group has a particular structure. Like in any organization, we have a structure or a level of hierarchy, okay. Let's say there is a group of any organization, there is a head of the department, then under the head we have subordinates, and the subordinates, they also have some more workers working under them, Okay, so like this there is a particular structure, and it is in many institutes, many organizations, it is divided into different departments, different divisions. Now in informal group or unofficial group there is no such structure. Friends, relatives, people sitting together in a group, it's not hard and fast that they are officially related to each other. Okay, they can be brothers, sisters, they can be friends, like that, and of different ages. Then orientation, what is the thing that they are oriented towards to? So a formal group is oriented towards the task they have to perform, it has to perform. Okay, but an informal group is oriented towards a relation, means they are directed to make good relations with each other. Okay, that is the basis of their orientation. Then influence, what is the thing which influences these two kinds of groups? Formal authority means a person who is authorized to take decisions, who has power. Okay, so a formal group is always influenced by a official authority, a person who is your boss. Okay, he is the highest authority in your department, okay, or in your institute or in your organization. So your work and your group, it will be influenced by that person always. But when we talk of informal group, like as I told you earlier, people make friends with other people if they have the same personality. So in an informal group, people are influenced by the personality of other people and they form a group. Then leadership, in a formal group there is a formal leader, like there is head of department. If you are a part of organization and you are a part of department A, okay, so there will be a leader and there will be a group of people working under that leader. But in informal group there is nothing like that. Leader is there, but he is not officially connected to the group. Actually he connects with all the other people on the basis of his expertise. Okay, expertise, power. If in any group of friends there is one friend who is very good in IT skills, so obviously every other friend, all the group members will just communicate to him, connect to him for solving their IT problems, IT related problems. Okay, so in that case he becomes a informal leader. Now control, there is a formal control over a formal group of whom? The leader, the formal leader. Your boss can control you formally. Okay, he can give you orders, he can give you warnings, he can give you demos, he can give you appreciation letters, and everything is official and it is documented. But in informal group, the control measure is social sanctions. Means if in a group of friends one friend has not behaved properly, is not behaving properly, okay, so in that case the social sanctions will be the reaction of other friends towards that particular person. Okay, so this is the control measures. Means all the friends will react very differently to a peculiar or a bad behavior of one friend. Okay, and because of these reactions that person will be controlled. He will get an idea that okay, my behavior was bad and because of this these people are avoiding me or they are reacting to me like this, so I should change. So that is the control measures. So now after this we come to the two differences between the two, formal versus informal communication. What is the communication, kind of communication going in a group? So first is there are two types of communications, formal and informal. So formal, as you can see in the picture, three people are sitting in a group and they are properly dressed and their body language is also saying something that they are properly sitting together. Okay, in a particular area, okay, maintaining a particular distance and having a different set body language. Okay, so this is a formal communication group. This happens in the organization or offices. People sit together, okay, formally, officially, and talk to each other, interact with each other regarding the task, regarding other official things. But informal communication does not say that you need to be sitting or in a particular dress or in a particular way. It is like when you are moving around. So friends in any organization, two friends, they came for having water, and just both of them started talking, okay, about what is happening in your department, what is happening in his department, like this. So this is informal communication. Okay, there is no particular official thing about the informal communication, and it can be any kind of communication, but this is particularly standardized kind of communication. Now after this we come to group dynamics. What is group dynamics? The social process by which people interact in a group environment. The influences of personality, power and behavior on the group person. Means in any group, the process through which people interact with each other defines group dynamics, and the influence of the personality of people on each other, the influence of power, and the influence of behavior on the group process. Behavior of whom? Behavior of the people of the group. All these things, they result in a certain kind of behavior, certain kinds of interpersonal communication, certain kind of conflicts. So this is all about group dynamics. Now after this we come to what are the stages of group development, how a group is formed. So there are normally 5 stages of group development: forming, storming, norming, performing and adjourning. So as the word says, we'll come one by one to the explanation of all these. So first is forming. Forming is the first stage when how a group forms. Okay, a group obviously forms by the virtue of management or by the virtue of society. Okay, when we enter into a society, we find people, and how do a group forms? So it is, how do I fit into the group? What are the other people's attitudes, and who will lead? This is the question that comes in any person's mind when he starts, before starting forming the group, when he is in the initial stage of forming a group. So he will be thinking about all this, that how do I fit in that group, and what are the attitudes of the people, who is the person who is going to lead. That's it. Then second stage after this comes when people are actually a part of group and a storming goes, as the word says, a storm comes, okay, into their minds. That is, they think that, okay, these are my goals, and how are they? People talk with each other, they have the question, they raise the questions, how are they different from yours? They feel, how shall we organize ourselves? And here the group conflicts and relationship formed earlier may be disrupted. So this is the area where differences between people come because of different kind of goals, because they get to know about each other. Okay, what are the differences and what are the points of dispute, points of conflict between each other. Okay, so here they actually are in a stage of storming. Now third stage is norming. Norming is they get back to normal, means they normalize. So they actually recognize that, okay, this is the reality, that we have to be a part of group and we have to form a group. Without a group of friends, without a group in an organization, we cannot exist. Okay, so they just think that let's develop ways to work more closely, and here a sense of group identity is formed and roles are allocated. Okay, people start observing each other, they start recognizing the talents of each other. Okay, and they allocate, the roles are allocated, that okay, this person is good in this, he will be given this department. This person is good in communication, he will be given that department. That's it. Now after this stage comes the performing stage. So performing, as the word says, you start performing. Okay, so here the ideologies or thinking that goes in people's mind is, let's collaborate or compete in a friendly manner. What is collaborating? When a group of people sit together to work on a task. Okay, so the group, so here the group has an effective structure and it focuses on achieving the task actually. Now this is, after this, the last stage comes adjourning. Adjourning is bidding goodbye, or you can say the group starts to disband, and at this time the members reflect actually that, okay, how did the group perform, how was the group, and they start talking, actually they depart from each other. Okay, the group is dispersed and it is adjourned, and like we say that meeting is adjourned, means the group form, this is the last stage of group formation where people go away from that group or leave that group. Okay, and they reflect on how was the group of, how the group performed, what were the things we did together, who was good, who was bad. They cherish the memories of that group and the tasks that it performed, and that's it. So this is all about the group behavior part 1. Hope you liked it. Thank you.